Inter Miami have an absolutely embarrassing performance against the Vancouver Whitecaps in the first leg of the Concacaf Champions Cup semifinals. And it looks pretty bleak for the team. And we are going to dive into this game. But before we do that, make sure you like this video down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, we're trying to hit 10K by the end of the year with your help. I know we will do it. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell notification so you never miss a video. Guys, Inter Miami looked absolutely terrible against Vancouver tonight. Absolutely terrible. I mean, they couldn't do anything. They dominated possession, didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But, first of all, we have to give props to Vancouver winning 2-0. They played an excellent game. Brian White looked incredible. Jesper Sorensen, to any of you who haven't watched Vancouver this year or are familiar with their Danish coach, Jesper Sorensen, you see now how good he is, how good this team plays under him. Huge difference compared to last year for the Vancouver Whitecaps. They created chances. They pressed all game. They frustrated Inter Miami, and they had the right formula to beat this team. Miami just looked so old. They look so old. I mean, the only person for Inter Miami who looked good tonight was Messi. And if you watch the game, Messi didn't look great, but honestly, as bad as his teammates were playing, it would be hard for anybody to look good with what happened tonight. But Messi was the only bright spot for Inter Miami, but everyone else just looked so damn old. Luis Suarez missed several chances, or a couple chances. He couldn't create any chances. He's slow. I made a joke about his speed being would be a 20 on FIFA at this point. I mean, he's completely washed. So Suarez is done. Suarez is cooked. It's over for Luis Suarez. 1 goal in 8 games in MLS this year. I think he's got maybe 2 goals in all competitions or 3 goals in all competitions. He's finished. He's played in 14 competitions and he's got 2 or 3 goals. He's done. It's over. Suarez is done. It's time to hang it up. Sergio Busquets, okay tonight. Jordi Alba just didn't look himself. Didn't look himself tonight. The normal play between him and Messi where Messi passes it down the flank. Alba just looked slow tonight. He couldn't catch the ball. Looked like he just looked old. The whole team looked old. And they didn't make any adjustments. Javier Mascherano made substitutions way too late after we all saw how bad they looked in the first half. And this team has a lot of question marks. Now, Miami is undefeated in MLS this season, but that's kind of misleading because they really haven't blown anybody out in MLS. A lot of 1-2-0 victories, 2-1 victories. They only scored 13 goals in MLS this year. They scored, and that's through 8 games. They scored 79 goals in 34 games last year. So they're on pace to be almost score 30 less goals in 2025 than they scored in 2024. And that's a huge issue. Messi cannot be the only person who scores goals on this team. They've got to get goal scoring contributions from someone else. Now, Tadio Yande was terrible tonight. He has not looked anywhere as good as he did at the beginning of the season for Inter Miami. Now, he did come back from injury, but he just hasn't looked good. He has not looked good for this team. Velasco Segovia has regressed tremendously. He was really good in the beginning of the season, but he has looked terrible. He's looked terrible for Inter Miami at this point. He just hasn't looked good. The back line was okay, but they didn't do a good job marking Brian White, and he scored the header in the first half. And then Sebastian Berhalter, Greg Berhalter's son, scored in the second half, and the defense just gave up. They pressed him so much, Vancouver, that they just frustrated this team. They wore him down. When Messi got the ball, they just swarmed him. There was 3 guys around him. They just absolutely swarmed him and frustrated him all game long. Now, Vancouver, they're just a good team. Like, Vancouver really has a chance to win this game at Inter Miami next in leg 2 and advance to the Concacaf Champions Cup final. They really have a legitimate chance of doing that. They're a good team. Any disbelievers, hopefully you understand what they've done and why they're the first place team in the Western Conference. Now, Inter Miami has a tall task heading into game 2, which we'll talk about that in a second, because of what they're going to, if Vancouver scores a goal, they're in trouble. They're done. But To be fair, they did have to travel 3,000 miles after playing a game on Saturday. That is a long travel. Vancouver and Miami are the two furthest clubs from each other in MLS. It's like 3,300 miles. It's insane. It's the two furthest teams in MLS. So that is a factor. And then the turf was extra bouncy today. The ball was playing fast. I mean, it's not an easy place to play at. There's 53,000 people at the game, by the way, which is beautiful to see because if you don't know this, Vancouver is up for sale right now. So the fan support looks really good for Vancouver. Not all those people are going to be Vancouver fans. Some people were there just to see Messi, but love to see the fan enthusiasm. You love to see that the stadium was filled. That is great to see. And all the rumors about Vancouver being moved hopefully are put to bed. But not an easy environment, a lot of travel. Here's the issue now. Talking about game 2, right? Of the leg 2 of the series. Inter Miami, if they concede a goal to Vancouver in leg 2, they will be down 3-0 on aggregate, but they will have to score 4 unanswered goals to advance to the Concacaf Champions Cup final because Vancouver have the 2 goals at home, the 1 goal on the road. Miami cannot score an away goal now because they'll be playing at home. They will have to score 4 goals on Vancouver if Vancouver scores 1 goal at Chase Stadium next week. Inter Miami is not in a good spot right now. They look terrible. This is the worst game I've seen them all year long. They got punched in the mouth. They looked old. And Javier Mascherano did not make any adjustments like he needed to. Vancouver, real deal. After what I saw tonight, Vancouver's the best team in MLS. Inter Miami is in trouble, and they are going to need some reinforcements. They just obviously traded Robert Taylor. They obviously just are likely to trade Julian Gressel, who hasn't played this year. They need a striker who is young and pacey and proven. Abondo is the backup striker for Inter Miami. He's unproven. He cannot be the replacement for Luis Suarez at this point, or they will be in trouble as well. They need to get a proven striker who can bench Luis Suarez because he is done. He's done. It's over. 38 years old, bad knee, slow, can't finish chances. It's done. Miami doesn't score goals. They could be in trouble this season. And KDB, who is a rumored player to be in the running for signing with Inter Miami, being in the hunt to sign with Inter Miami, is not changing anything on this team. He's not going to score them goals. Angel Di Maria is not going to score them goals like they need. He's 37 years old. They need to get younger. So Inter Miami, I just can't believe how bad they looked. They got their back against the wall again, like they did last game. Remember, against LAFC had scored 1 goal on Miami, and then they scored an away goal on Miami in the second leg to be up 2-0. Miami had to score 3 unanswered goals to advance in that playoff round or that second leg in the Concacaf Champions Cup. So Inter Miami's got their back against the wall once again. And even if they do win the series, it's looking less likely that they're going to host the Concacaf Champions Cup final. But let me know down in the comment section below, what did you think about this game? Are Miami in trouble? Are they fine? Let me know. I didn't think it looked good. And what is their biggest issue thus far in this season? If you like this video, make sure you like it down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.